Lesson 48. There is nothing to fear. The idea for today simply states a fact. It is not a fact to those who believe in illusions, but illusions are not facts. In truth, there is nothing to fear. It is very easy to recognize this, but it is very difficult to recognize it for those who want illusions to be true. Today's practice periods will be very short, very simple, and very frequent. Merely repeat the idea as often as possible. You can use it with your eyes open at any time and in any situation. It is strongly recommended, however, that you take a minute or so whenever possible to close your eyes and repeat the idea slowly to yourself several times. It is particularly important that you use the idea immediately should anything disturb your peace of mind. The presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. The awareness that there is nothing to fear shows that somewhere in your mind, though not necessarily in a place you recognize as yet, you have remembered God and let His strength take the place of your weakness. The instant you are willing to do this, there is indeed nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. In truth. Guys, we're not going to do a spiritual bypass with this one. Okay? We, as Course in Miracles students, we are taking a course. Okay? We're taking a course. This is not a book of platitudes. This is not a book of spiritual sound bites. That we can just take this idea and use it as an excuse not to work miracles in the world. We are not going to bypass our function. I'm very passionate about this. We are in the world where it's hell. And that's just the nature of the world. We had a thought of separation, and a world was made where we could experience that separation. And turns out it's not that fun. There's fear, there's ego, there's chaos, there's drama, there's pain, there's suffering. But guess what? We're children of God. God gave us all of these great gifts and attributes, and we were meant to use them whether we had that thought or not. And our purpose is to extend love, to express love. And guess what? That is what we are here to do in the world. And there's nothing to fear in truth. In the world, there's a lot of fearful stuff. There's a lot. There's a lot of pain. And that's just the way it is. This might be a world of illusion, and if it's not love, it's not ultimately real. But the Course says illusions are real in their effects. If you put the power of belief, of your thought and belief and conviction behind what's fearful, then it will have real effects on you. You are limited to the effects of your belief. However much you believe in it, then that's how affected you're going to be. And that's why the ego's voice is so dangerous, because it's providing evidence to help make you believe that what it's feeding to you is ultimately real and true. There's nothing to fear. There's freedom in knowing that. But that doesn't mean we stick our heads in the sand and don't get about our Father's business to transform what is fearful into what is loving. This is a lesson about surrender. This lesson is following yesterday's lesson for a very important reason. We need to remember that this is a course. This is a full course, and that these are concepts that are fully fledged, not just things we can take out of context and our ego can use it as an excuse not to perform our function. So there is nothing to fear. The presence of fear is a sure sign you are trusting in your own strength. We talked about this yesterday. That beautiful first paragraph from lesson 47. If you're trusting in your own strength, you have every reason to be afraid. This is about surrendering. This is about choosing to take the second place to gain the first. This is about remembering who you are in the loveless world, in the world of form. This is about your power. What is your power? The holiness within you. The power to decide to see things differently. The power of thought. The power of thinking. God is the strength in which I trust. God is the love in which I forgive. God is the mind with which I think. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. Your divinity is your power in this world. There's nothing to fear because you know who the F you are. Miracle workers. That is how you become effective instead of affected by the fearful world. There's nothing to fear. I surrender to the holiness within me. The Holy Spirit then takes control, takes the lead, takes over my thoughts, my thinking. The Holy Spirit then, not me, the Holy Spirit is the one who, lesson 47, paragraph 1, who can predict, who is in control, who can be counted on. Safety, secure attachment to the Holy Spirit will give me the ability to be aware of all facets of any problem because He's aware. The Holy Spirit is an all-knowing, eternal entity of God. Idea in the mind of God too. Can resolve problems in such a way that only good can come of it. Not me, God. There's nothing to fear. It's in me and gives me the recognition of the right solution, the guarantee that it will be accomplished. I cannot fail. There's nothing to fear because I am a vessel for God. I am a miracle worker. There's nothing to fear because God's working miracles through me. There is nothing to fear because what is not real, what is not of love, is an illusion. It can have real effects, painful effects, chaotic effects, disturbing effects here in the world, but what is not of love bows in the presence of love. What? Where is love? Oh, that's who I am. That's the God within me. When I stand firmly realizing there's nothing to fear, I am unshakable, I am untriggerable, I am unbothered, I am standing firmly within my divine foundation. The presence of fear is a sure sign you're trusting in your own strength. The presence of fear is a sure sign I'm listening to the wrong voice. The presence of fear is a sure sign I think I must be in a random universe and this must be all there is and I must just be going through the motions and I must not be holy and I must be this limited small thing. The presence of fear is the ego's temper tantrum that I might remember who I actually am. The presence of fear is me thinking I can be threatened in any way. The presence of fear is me forgetting who I am and why I'm here. The absence of fear is remembering God, it said, and letting His strength take the place of my weakness. There's nothing to fear because we're miracle workers and God works through us. And yes, there's a lot of fearful stuff going on. There's a lot of chaotic stuff going on. We don't give it the power over us. We understand how powerful God is working through us. We got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of fearful stuff to transform into love, that which is real. There's nothing to fear because we cannot fail. When we remember who we are, when we remember that God is our strength, God is the love, God is in our mind, God is our source, God is our power, God is our wisdom, the Holy Spirit is there within our minds. We have access to knowing everything if we ask, if we invite that into our thinking, into our mind. There's nothing to fear. God can't do for us what He can't do through us. There's nothing to fear. Let's let Him work through us because there is a lot that needs to be done. I'll see you tomorrow, Miracle Workers.